Hi, I'm Margie and welcome to Bay Sauna. We are so excited that you've carved out time to slow down, warm up, and reset, and we are honored to bring this experience to your space. This quick video will walk you through exactly how to use the sauna safely, comfortably, and confidently. Here's what to expect. The sauna typically runs between 160 and 200 degrees. The heat usually takes 45 to 90 minutes to heat up, depending on the weather. We do have a wood-fired stove and a two-sided firebox in this sauna. Before you start the fire, it's important to check the chimney inside and out to make sure that that nothing is touching the stove on the inside and nothing is touching the chimney on the outside or inside. Also, keep a bucket of water or a fire extinguisher nearby just in case. Very important rule with the stove. This is a diagram of our stove. It's important that the fire is always here near the inside stove door. So our stove has two stove doors, one on the outside and one on the inside. Also notice two dampers. You always want to build the fire here in the inside of the sauna. Never light a fire here. This is actually an access channel that can be used to load wood after the fire has been established. The chimney is up here. Also, only burn the provided firewood, never plastics, treated wood, garbage, and please do not use accelerants, fire accelerants of any kind like lighter fluid. Here's the damper. Again, there's a damper on the inside of the stove and the outside of the stove. If the damper is further shut, you will have less air, as in partially closed dampers, and you'll have a cooler, steadier burn. If the dampers are more open, you'll have a hotter burn. If you have totally closed dampers, your fire will not burn because it doesn't have oxygen. Here's a simple guide to starting a fire. Start with 2 logs going this way. Add paper. Add plenty of dry kindling. Light the fire and stay nearby. It's important that you never leave the sauna with the stove door open. In this part, you're going to want to just sit near the stove and watch the fire establish. Once you see these bottom logs catching, you can add another log or 2. And then once you see embers on the bottom, you can close the stove door and make sure the lock catches by closing the handle like this, and then leave the dampers open. Again, you can't shut the dampers with the fire going because it will starve the fire of oxygen. Okay, so if you look at the stovepipe, it has this temperature safety gauge. Always keep an eye on this and make sure the needle is in the green zone. If you see the pipe glowing red or the needle in the red zone, it means that it's gotten too hot. So you're going to want to start closing the dampers to reduce airflow and cool down that sauna. And remember to always use a heat glove when you're touching the stove or the dampers because the metal surfaces do become very hot and can cause burns. We do provide a bucket and a ladle for steam. In Finnish, steam is called loili, and it's a huge part of what makes the sauna magical. You can pour the water, directly on the rocks, but please never pour water into the stove body or on the stovepipe, only onto the rocks. During your sauna, expect to take several rounds between 5 and 20 minutes. The higher bench is hotter and the lower bench is cooler. If you get too hot, you can open this vent in back and that will cool down the sauna. This thermometer tells you how hot it actually is in the sauna. And if you're having trouble staying in there, one thing that might help is putting your feet in a bucket of water. When you're finished with the sauna, you can allow the fire to taper down naturally, partially close the dampers to slow the burn, but don't fully close them unless the fire is nearly extinguished. You can fully open that ceiling vent in the back and crack the door open to start cooling down the sauna. Do not pour water into the firebox, and make sure you continue monitoring that fire until it's completely out. We will handle the ash removal and the breakdown. Make sure that you remove all your personal belongings and take out your towels, turn off the lights, and close the doors securely when the sauna has cooled down. If you need any help with sauna-related questions, please call or text us. This is me, Margie, and Erin is right there. We're happy to help you at any time, and we're available. If it's an emergency, please call 911. We also will give you a manual with all of this information so you can look at it at a glance if that's easier than video. If you loved your sauna experience, which we hope you do, it would help us a lot to spread the word. So if you could tag us in a social post or send our account or our website to a friend who might love this, or leave us a review, we would be so grateful. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much, and I hope you have an incredible sauna experience.